Hi, my name is Bob, and I would like to show you my second part of how I did some of these things to my railroad. We'll start with our telephone poles. They are made simply from chopsticks. Cross members are made from barbecue skewers. The lines are just simple string. Color them with chalk. Take yourself and just drill a hole the size of your chopstick and you stick it in there and it's all set. Another thing I've also added is some museum wax to the ends of these cross members. Museum wax is a sticky wax which stays soft, but it keeps the string from falling off the ends. I'll explain to you later on what museum wax is and many uses of it. Also, another thing I've done that I think is kind of unique is I put lights in my diesel locomotive. I also put it in my Santa Fe steamliner also. The lead lights, which is really unique about them, is they take minimal electricity to run them. So it doesn't take away from your track for your trains. Now I'll show you how I did it. The lead lights also were put in, which I call porthole style windows. Now we'll start with our road bed here. What I have is simple cat litter. We have our ballast, gray, a lot lower gray, and then a lighter gray. It comes in different colors, browns, whatever. What you do is, though, you take some of your cat litter and you mix part of it with some of your ballast. And this is mixed, half cat litter and half some of your ballast. You take some, put it down in the middle of your railroad track. It helps make a filler, so don't use so much of your ballast. Now here's your regular ballast that you made, that you have colored. You just go on the top. And you fill it up. Again, it saves on your ballast. Now you take your greenery, add alongside. You buy this kind of stuff at Michael's, Moss, whatever this different stuff's called, but it's just your greenery. And then I take a bottle of glue, half of it partial glue and partial water. We'll just pretend, and we'll spray it on your ballast and your greenery. And when it dries, it stays in place. The next, my telephone poles is, as you can see, they're just simple chopsticks, barbecue skewers. You just cut them to your length, stain them, color them, whichever you wish. Now we'll go to our lead lights. Here's a less expensive lead light. This one's a little more expensive, but it's unique. I like it. It shows white, but the other one actually shows blue. So you take your lead lights, and you've already have them wired into your shell. And you take some museum wax. Museum wax you can buy at Lowe's, Home Depot, hardware stores, just about anywhere. You take a glob of it, like so, and you stick it into your shell. And you just put a glob down in there. Then you have your lead light. This is in place. We'll just take it back out for the moment. You have your lead light, all been wired, just like the rest of them. You take your lead light, and you just push it down into the museum wax, and it's in place. And you do the same with the rest. Museum wax, wherever you wish to put your lights. Just squish it in place and it stays there. Another unique thing about museum wax is when you go to put your shell and your chassis back together, take a little museum wax, put it on the end of your screwdriver, then when your screw attached to it, stays in place. Then when you go to put your chassis into your shell, like so, and then of course it goes into your shell, and the screw doesn't fall off like it does on, I'm sure you've had experience with it falling off from the bottom when you're trying to put it back together. Egg cartons are really nice to put your small screws and small things of order, which you wish to do. Another thing about museum wax I use is this has been pre-done. I put some museum wax on my windows for these little buildings. If you can see a little bit on the edge of it. Been pre-done. Take the roof off. I turn the light out so it's not so bright and blinding. You take your museum wax window like so. Stick it down in there. Place it up against the building, like so. Straighten out a little bit. And there you are. Stays in place. Another unique thing I've done with my museum wax is I have you like to have trees in your layout. You take some museum wax, pull it on the bottom of your tree, stick it in place. Got bushes around, like so. Take your bush, put some museum wax on the bottom, set it in place. And again, that is Bob's Railroad American Flyer, and I hope some of these tips were helpful for you. Thank you.